Drivers, start your engine!
Fired up.
Car comes down pit road and just overshoots his pit box. Luckily, no one was injured. You can see he's on the brakes hard. The car's sideways. Very difficult to pit at Daytona. The tires are very hard.
Moving around, the 19 goes sideways. Larson stays up front and will win stage 2.
Brandon Jones with a nice save. No contact.
Hold on here.
As long as that splitter's not damaged, he's okay. Great shot from Cole Custer. 19 of Brandon Jones just came around on him. Really no contact from anybody, just behind all those cars. Not much air to push the car down. Lost the downforce. Really nice job, though, to keep from causing damage. Fifth position, pretty good shape. Everybody gets really bottled up on the corner exit. Got tagged from behind by Matt Tiff. Just one of those Daytona wrecks where everybody got bottled up and they just get slowed down enough and some contact there with the inside wall. So right here, see, he's in the back. He's right against the 23 Chase Elliott. The 9 pushes the 2 just a little bit. The 2 gets into the 16. Little pop right there that moved the 2 into the 16. Talked about that earlier. Bad, just a little bit slow, and it just stacked everybody up. And then behind them, wow, that was big contact.
8 of Cesar Baccarella. And Blake Jones in the 78.
Elliott Sadler, big run right there. You saw what he did.
Oh, around goes the 60. Austin Cindric wrecking in front of the crowd. Daniel Hemrick's caught up. Tyler Reddick, Cindric, barrel rolls.
When you're done, Tomlin.
Lands back on his wheels.
Okay, Matt Tiff trying to make a lot happen.
Joey Gase in the 35, sitting right up against the 60 now.
See right here. They enter the corner. It's up the racetrack a little bit. Matt Tiff's going to try to drive in there to get to his inside, and they just got together. 60 of Austin Cindric just wasn't on the very bottom of the racetrack. Open up a little bit of hole that Matt Tiff you thought was there, and then you see right here the contact with Reddick. Started Cindric's flipping. That's very unusual to see a car flip that late after initial impact. So here we go above.
Well, Jeff, you knew it was just a matter of time. It was trying to get really bunched up too wide, and Matt Tiff thought it's under 20 to go. He had to make a lane. You see that tumble, as you mentioned, really rough for the 60 car, but basically, Matt Tiff thought it was time to try to make it 3 wide, but that was late into the corner for Matt Tiff to look underneath the 60.
That is a late move, and it's difficult to be able to, for the spotter to give that information to the 60. Then he's got a car underneath him. But there was room there. There was room to go, and Matt decided that was the move he wanted to make.
You see right there, there's a little bit of a hole. It looks like he has room to go to the bottom. And when he went to go, it just closed up. And we always like to point a finger and say, this guy messed up or that guy messed up, and many times it's just racing. I mean, it's people going for a spot.
This is the seat that I wonder, guys, as we ride along with Custer. You see a little contact there, but I think he doesn't know where the 21's going to go. So, helmet cam, what a great shot.
As a driver there, you just get up high and hope that they don't come up the track into you. If you're way behind the wreck, you try to slow down without locking down the front tires and sliding into the crash. Wild action under red flag. We'll be right back.
The 23 car could push him.
And around goes the 55. So Brandon Hightower spinning and bringing the caution out once again.
And so now
3 wide.
In the middle, a lot of movement there.
Oh, wow. Just got turned around.
He moves to the bottom like the position's open and the lane's open, and there's obviously a car there that makes contact with his rear bumper.
Hard for the spotters to spot that far away, too. You'll see these spotters carry binoculars, and they'll actually follow the car down the back straightaway through the binoculars every single lap. I don't know how they do that. I've always wondered, how they can stay on their car and on the car they need to watch.
You're talking about a long ways. It's like 3,400 feet from the spotter stand to this area here, entering turn 3 on the backstretch. Another good look from Brian Truex.
This is a great opportunity, folks, for those guys that were in the wreck before this to get back down pit road and make some adjustments. Just got to side draft as hard as he can on his 4-car kill. Oh, gets some trouble back here in the back.
Spinner behind them. And the 0 goes around again. Garrett Smithley.
No caution yet.
Yeah, he's trying to get it straightened back out if he's able to.
There's no one with Elliott Sadler.
We got a crash. We got a crash in trouble here.
And behind him, they're wrecking. Ryan Reed involved. Ryan Sieg as well in the 39. And so the caution will come out again.
Outside. Really nobody in front of him. You see, they're 4 wide. 16 going backwards. 93 got into the back of the 00. Not sure of that energy of the 16 car. He was having some kind of trouble when he was going back, and I don't know if that contributed to them getting 4 wide, and then eventually you run out of room. So Cole Custer on top of his car. You see right there, the thing's getting really tight. He's got to stay in the gas. Contact from the back, and round he goes.
There you see it. Hard impact for the 90 car in the outside wall. Everybody just trying to survive. Once cars start spinning, I mean, you got to think there's debris and there's fluids on the racetrack. You're really limited on how much control and how much ability to miss all this you have.
And it all starts as the cars enter the trial, but the lanes get very undefined. What's the top, what's the middle, what's the bottom? It seems like the trial was the place where these accidents happen most often. As you see, the 16 catches the grass, gets airborne, and luckily comes back onto its tires.
So many involved in this second big one of the night.
So it started right in this area. So this black car, the 93, watch as he goes, as we roll this replay. Right there. Just gets up the racetrack. I'm not sure if there's contact with a 19 car behind me, but something, he just kind of turned right and got into the 00, and that started all of this.
And as this has happened, there's fluid just pouring out of all these cars. And so the cars that are trying to miss these guys have no control. They touch the brakes, it just locks up the front tires. They can't steer and turn left and right. You'll see the 01 behind all this. I mean, these guys are just trying to slow down, and it drives them right into the wreck. Fluid everywhere. Let's take a look through Truex's helmet cam here. Got that tape.
He's had enough, hasn't he?
Yeah, that tape ain't straight. Having some trouble here. He lifts a little bit, trying to avoid the 16.
Caution's out.
Gets on through there pretty good.
Kyle Larson outduels Elliott Sadler for the win. And once again, a close finish for Sadler.
Yeah. Elliott Sadler.
All this is so crazy.
Heartbreaking.
Again, that close. That's the gap.
And Justin Haley heartbroken. See right here, if we can stop it right there. I mean, there's room for Haley to get up by the 1 car.
It's just a natural reaction, though, as a driver to steer away from what you think is going to happen. He's not moving down there to block anybody or I just don't understand, but it's a clear-cut rule, I suppose.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command to start engines, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Colonel Gregory Gadsden.
Drivers, start your engines!
The back, Rick. Uncontrolled tire for the 70. And around goes the 21. Paul Menard up in the air, but he keeps it down on the wheels. Paul Menard Menard, when he got turned around, all four wheels looked as though they had come off the ground as he was sliding sideways.
A lot of damage to the hood. Otherwise, he's going to be able to put on tires. See a little damage to the left front there. He's going to be able to put on tires and be okay, but that damage to the hood there, that's going to be very concerning. It's like he gets turned by the 48 of Jimmie Johnson. Just a little hook there on the left rear quarter panel. Spins down through the grass.
This race is going to continue to get more aggressive. As we wind into it, we're going to see more accidents, more pushing, more shoving. Stuff's going to get wild.
Just waiting for whichever line. Huge push. And around goes a two. Too big of a push. He caught the 41.
A big one.
Logano's caught up in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Denny Hamlin. Austin Dillon has damage. Daniel Suarez trying to avoid. Ty Dillon sliding in. A wreck 22 of Joey Logano sitting on the apron. A wreck 2.
All the Penske cars right there. The one organization that everybody came here thinking they had the best shot to win, all three of their cars wiped out in this accident. Ricky was pushing him and also turning down the racetrack, and that was enough to turn the two-car around. There's just so much happening right there, and they were coming up on Williams so fast that I believe Brad was sort of throttling down a little bit because he was going to run to the back of the 24, because you see the 24 blocking here. So Brad's probably throttling down a little bit, and Stenhouse coming across the nose.
Yeah, so right here, the 17. Watch the 17 when he gets into the rear bumper. Right there, hits him in the right rear, and that's what sends him. We talked about that earlier. That's where you want to bump draft somebody. You want to bump them in the right rear. But when you do that, and the speed's wrong, and it's misaligned, and also he's turning left, then that literally just shoves the left rear bumper to the inside of the car, and it shoots the nose straight to the wall.
We've seen this generation of car. These guys, their bumpers don't line up all that great. We don't never see these guys lock bumpers like they used to, or like we see in the Xfinity Series. So anytime they make a push, they got to be careful. And that was incredibly, there's just so much happening there, as you see. Running up on William Byron so fast.
Look who gets through. The 31 of Ryan Newman. The 18 of Kyle Busch. But after that, everyone fighting to find some type of a clear racetrack.
Anytime they make a push, they got. It's incredibly, there's just so much happening there, as you see. Running up on William Byron so fast.
Look who gets through. The 31 of Ryan Newman.
18's on his quarter panel. He's going to side draft him right here in 3 and 4. Oh, my goodness.
Sideways the 18, hard into the wall. Around goes the 24 as well. William Byron sliding all the way to the inside wall. Jamie McMurray caught up as well. Kyle Larson avoiding the 18. He went way down on the apron.
Guys, I'm afraid to say it, but I think Stenhouse was involved in this one as well.
I do too.
Can't wait to see the replay so we can really dissect how this all started. Roof came with a sifting. So he gets into the quarter panel 18. 18's trying to get down there and side draft, and the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse is not following the 24, not following his line exactly. He's also trying to side draft. So Ricky's trying to side draft 18. 18's coming down to side draft to 24. Just a couple bad decisions there. Trying to, you've got to be aggressive on the side draft, and that's what happens sometimes when there's 3 or 4 guys trying to do the same thing.
So what the 17's trying to do right there is he's trying to get as close to the left rear quarter panel of the 18 to slow him down, and he gets into him. He came up the racetrack so aggressively, I almost wonder if he got tight or something. Like,
maybe.
He can see that the 18 is right next to William Byron. The 18 can't go any lower. Watch what happens right here. So see how close the 18 and the 24 are. Right here. 18, he's not going to go any lower. The 17's up the racetrack and gets into the 18. Just makes me wonder if Ricky Stenhouse Jr. didn't lose the front of the car and get up the racetrack and get into the side of him. In trying to side draft and you're close to somebody, if your car gets tight and it moves 2 feet, now you're into the left rear quarter panel and causing a wreck.
We've saw these guys have balance issues on the bottom groove. And he could have lost the front in the dirty air of the 24. He could have lost the nose a little bit there. I think he was going up there to get a little side draft and maybe did creating a lot of turbulence for this draft of cars, and you can see,
Oh, a lot of sparks flying. The 42 goes around, collects the 17. Larson around and got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as he was going.
Yeah, 10-4.
The 48 also, we mentioned you can't make them.
Right there,
he's got
see?
a flat tire.
Yeah, he had a problem. It just spun all by himself. I saw sparks flying from the car.
And
I didn't think
tire.
Yeah.
The right rear tire come apart.
I didn't think Ryan Newman made contact. It's just he has a problem right rear tire, and around he goes. Stenhouse, nothing he could do.
Decisions, though, guys. Decisions. Remember the 17. Would he have been at the back of that pack? Would he have even been in that position if they would have pitted earlier with the other leaders?
So this, the 6th caution to slow the pace here at Daytona as we go NASCAR nonstop.
Right in front of you, watch him. I don't know where he's going to go. 2 of them there, easy. Now, don't slide, just watch.
There you go.
Watch your backside, hold your line.
The whole tailpiece, the 42 car on the nose down pit road to get that taken off.
Here at Daytona as we go NASCAR nonstop. Now before he hits the inside wall, he does. They'll stay green if he stays going the right direction and can back up to speed. And around, bringing out the 7th caution as we go NASCAR nonstop.
Then you drag everybody back to you. Drag that back on caution. There it is.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. around. The tire finally goes down.
Down in the grass, you're fine. Nothing else coming.
Tom Menard races down pit road because he wanted to avoid.
He's got the left rear tires going down. He knows it. Look at it shredding that car apart. Look at all that crush panels. Foam flying out of that thing.
Winner of stage 1, winner of stage 2. We called him a gladiator earlier.
Look at it. Watch this. Look at his hand. Trying to hang on to this thing. Look at all the stuff flying around in the cockpit. He's looking around.
Still got 4 or 5 coming at
To
you.
see which way is which.
See all those flames down below on the left side of him. That's all just the tire blowing apart. Taking out metal, aluminum, everything that's down there.
Up.
8th caution. And now, under 10 laps to go at Daytona. Casey Kane, can he finish it out? He's in front.
If he didn't take it because of his teammate, or the teammate to the 4 cars behind him.
Into the wall again. This time Eric Almirola caught up. The 00 of Joey Gase and the 34, who had a great run tonight, gets caught up in it, Michael McDowell.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson as well.
The 48 of Jimmy Johnson just got back on the lead lap. Not a lot of damage to the 48, though.
We're on your way, fellas.
And a wheel rolling down the racetrack.
That thing still has the hub and everything in it. Yeah, the 4 wide just hooked him.
Yeah. Just not enough. This track is just not wide enough for 4 wide. At Talladega, you can make it work. It's a little bit wider, but this racetrack is just not as wide as Talladega.
Here's another look at it. The 00 is already hooked. Turned down the corner. Joey Gase, he's just trying to gather it up. Nowhere for those guys to go.
Jimmy Johnson's like, I've seen this before.
That heavy impact with McDowell sandwiching Eric in the wall. Wow, what a hit. That shears that.
The wheel comes off, and then you see the 48 sliding down into the grass. The wheel actually comes back and hits the 10 and rolls over the top of it and then keeps going down the racetrack.
That hurts.
Look at this.
Yeah, I see
the wheel comes back, runs over the top of the 10 and keeps going. White flag. The next flag will call it the 14 around. Boyer into the wall. The caution comes out just before they get to the start-finish line.
Some big impacts.
Bain caught up, as is Bubba Wallace. Brendan Gaughan also in this. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson, Trevor Bain. A lot of damage.
There you see Clint Boyer and Bubba Wallace. Clint's on the inside. Bubba's got a little tire rub there, but he's shoving and he just turns, pushing so hard. And Clint was moving around on the front bumper. And it hooked him into the wall. That's just real aggressive bunt drafting. Here's from the 43 root camp. And he just turned him sideways there, hooked him bad.
Keep coming.
That's just really aggressive pushing, really aggressive bump drafting, which is what's going to happen at the end of these races.
Yeah, they got misaligned. When they got misaligned, here's Kevin Harvick.
No help yet. Keep digging here. Very, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Easy.
You see, Bubba's pushing the 14, and the 14 moved to the left, and when he did, now he's pushing him on the extreme right rear of the bumper, and just like the wreck we saw earlier in the race, it just turns the car directly head on into the wall. And you know, when you're pushing somebody, how you are pushing them is so important. You have to have everybody has got to be lined up, and the most effective way is on that right rear, but if you get misaligned just a touch, boom, that's what happens. It just yanks it to the right. Trevor Bayne with a big hit, too.
Yeah, remember, these cars going over 180 miles an hour. Hard impact into the wall.
Yeah, guys, you've mentioned this is how it starts. The 14 gets turned, big impact. But look at Jimmy Johnson come in. He's at the top of the screen. He hits the wall. Then he's into Clint Bowyer, and he starts to turn left. He's going to basically come right at me. We talked about the pit box being in the center of the action. Well, this is another shot for the 48. And at this point, he's just along for the ride. But you see why NASCAR doesn't use these last 3 pit stalls anymore. This is basically pit stall 2. I'm 1 pit stall to his left.
On a restrictor plate track. Coming to the tri-oval for the final time. Eric Jones has won at Daytona.
Listen to that emotion.